Welcome back to the 2 Point Show, where we give you the latest sports rundown. We are your hosts, Gideon and Joey, breaking down stories, giving hot takes, and interviewing athletes around the world. From buzzer beaters to bold predictions, we will give you fresh analysis, real opinions, and some fun arguments along the way. So whether you're tuning in on your drive, in the gym, or simply on your couch, get ready for a good one. This is the 2 Point Show. 2 games down, 4 more to go for the champion. We're here, Sweet 16 talk with the 2 Point Show. Welcome back, guys. We're talking a little recap about March Madness in the first weekend, and we're diving into the Sweet 16, Elite 8, you name it. Here we are.
Yeah, I mean, the Monday after the first and second rounds, I feel like is one of the saddest days of the year. Like, it's just like, there's nothing on, I guess we'll watch the Pistons tonight. I haven't really watched the Pistons in a minute.
It's been a minute.
So that'll be good, but yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened, but, we got a couple good sporting events coming up. We got the Masters. We got more March Madness. Opening day.
Opening day, I mean, that's crazy. The Tigers play this week.
I know. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And then, hey, even down the line, the Kentucky Derby's coming up pretty soon.
Right. Exactly.
So, don't worry, guys. There's plenty of sports to come.
Yep.
So, yeah. Let's dive right into this first weekend recap about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Man, one double-digit seed is only going to the Sweet 16 in Texas. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive for Texas because they were a first 4 team and they played 3 games in 4 or 5 days, so that's
correct.
That's the one thing, but Texas is really good. They're not really an 11 seed, they're 31 in KenPom and they're around like the North Carolina and Wisconsin, and so it's really like, they're ranked, they're seeded 11, which they're 11 seed, but I picked them to beat BYU. Didn't pick them against Gonzaga, but they're really good and good for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Texas is really a Cinderella because they're a Power 4 team. I think that's considered not a Cinderella.
Yeah, and they're good. Like they had a
solid.
favorable draw, so I wouldn't call them Cinderella given the seed they have. But if they beat
Purdue, look out! You never know. I'm serious. You never know.
Yeah.
But no, shout out to the Big Ten as well. 6 teams made it to the Sweet 16. How about that?
Is this the year?
Is this the year?
Is this the year? I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it is. Michigan looks great. Purdue's been looking solid. Michigan State's looking great. Illinois is kicking everyone's butt. I mean...
And then you're going to either have Nebraska or Iowa in the Elite 8, so...
I know,
works
man.
out.
Give me one of your thoughts here about this first weekend recap.
Yeah, if you just want to do, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Talk about anything. Whatever your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think we can start with Thursday. We can start, with Michigan. Dude, Howard. They were trying to do something, and then it was just kind of derailed from
ran
there.
out of gas.
Yeah,
ran
exactly.
out of gas.
And Michigan State looked good. Great performance.
For sure.
So, yeah, that was kind of the Michigan teams. And then there were great games. The first game of the tournament, people are calling the TCU...
Needs to be talked about more.
Right. The TCU-Ohio State game, people are calling it a good game. I thought that was
I thought it was a
great game. Yeah, exactly.
Top 5 game of the tournament so far.
I agree. And then, the upset, High Point, beating Wisconsin, which is it's crazy. Great game. A lot of points, I don't even know how they came back. They were down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They were down 9 with 4 minutes left, and then they came back and won. So, and then you had the Siena against Duke. That was almost going to happen.
Almost the greatest upset of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time. I'm serious. In March Madness.
Played 5 guys. And
they gave it everything they had.
Tried their best, and then we can go to VCU, North Carolina. That was
overtime. Nobody's really talking about that game either. But it was an everyone's
kind of focused on other games, but that was another top 5 tournament in the game so far.
Yeah, the
Tournament,
huge comeback.
Game in the tournament. I just said tournament in the game. My bad.
Huge comeback. Good for them, and everything else was kind of, chalk it up.
Yeah, Otega Owa had the best shot of the tournament.
Yeah.
That was
Owe.
Otega Owe?
Otega Owe, yeah.
I heard the announcer say Owa. One time. Maybe it was the one time I was paying attention to that game. It was, huh. Otega Owe. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy name. But no, he had the best shot of the tournament by far. That whole sequence, Santa Clara burying the 3, beyond half court, not beyond, just inside half court, buried it. Unreal.
Yeah,
Unreal.
I was rooting for Santa Clara hard too. They're just fun to watch, but Kentucky just kind of.
I was rooting Kentucky because they're in my bracket.
There you go.
And before we jump to more things, in the 2-point show March Madness bracket, look who's in first right now, baby. Come on, I'm in first place, and it's looking good because Florida. It's lonely at the top, man. I'm nobody's tied with me. Let alone first, but it's good that Florida lost for me. I only had them going to the Sweet 16, and it messed up a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, it works out.
Here's a shout out. We got to watch the D-Head Bowl, and Mick Cronin versus Dan Hurley, the battle of two guys who just, they can be a little bit of pain in the butt when it comes to the media and talking to the refs and loud. So that's why, if you guys saw that, that's why we're calling it the D-Head Bowl. Gideon, I got a question for you, though, about another team. Where do you sit with Gonzaga? Should they consider a different schedule, maybe look even at a potential different conference? Because look back at how Michigan destroyed them earlier in the season, too. Here's another thing. Should the committee also look at Gonzaga lowering them in the seeding?
Well, they are moving to the Pac-12 next year with a bunch of different teams for the basketball season. So there's the answer to that. But I don't think
But is that going to be enough even?
I mean, they're going to win. They're still going to win. Even though you have to, where do they go this year? Let's check their...
They went 31-4?
That's impressive.
It's very impressive.
Whatever conference you're in, and let's see, they beat Oklahoma, Power 5 school, Creighton, Big East, Arizona State, Power 5. They beat Bama by 10. They beat Maryland.
But
Michigan.
4 of those 5 teams you just named aren't in the tournament.
Those are still wins, though, and
yeah, I guess.
Power Conference. They beat Kentucky. They beat UCLA. They beat Oregon. They beat. So.
Okay.
I mean, I know you're a big Gonzaga hater, and I understand because they're in the WCC, but
frauds.
I don't think they should be. The committee should look at something like that because, Gonzaga's good, man. They have good players every single year. They have Graham Ike, who is one of the best players in the country. There's no reason they should be faulted for what conference they're in because the WCC is good. St. Mary's, they're a 7 seed. Santa Clara gave Kentucky a scare. Really no one else. They lost to Portland, I guess, but
that's true.
So it can't be faulted for that.
So I want to talk about some games yesterday. How about Iowa? Bennett Sturts is the man. They were unreal. And did you see that stat? I texted you about this. So in the last 16 games for Iowa, Bennett Sturts has sat 7 minutes. 7!
And then I texted you back.
Are you kidding me?
I texted you back. I don't know if I could do that if I tried.
Right! No one's doing that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Sturts didn't shoot well, but he's going to keep you in a game.
He's the man.
Just the way Ben McCollum plays with his system, and Sturts had the ball probably 90-something% of the time. So,
dude, it was late clock. One of the other guards, I can't remember who was, had the ball, and then he had an open shot or an open lane, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm handing it off to Sturts."
Yeah, smart. Sturts is as good as it gets, honestly.
He's a top 5 point guard in college basketball.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, what a win. And now we get to see, like you said, Nebraska versus Iowa in the Elite Eight, or in the Sweet 16 to go to the Elite Eight.
I've been seeing like a bunch of memes like about the fans like in like the trip to go to the Elite Eight, and the fans of Iowa and Nebraska, they're just like burning stuff and like fighting in the crowd. So, you know, I mean, it is pretty crazy. Like Iowa, Nebraska, like for them is like as good as it gets. You know, rivalry type. You know.
Yeah, 100%. They hate each other.
Yeah.
So what a game that's gonna be. I'm gonna take Iowa right now in that matchup.
Wow. I think
does it again.
I'm gonna stick with the storybook. I think Nebraska goes to the Elite Eight, and I think they're good. Like they're good again. You know, they were struggling a little bit. They were a little question mark, but they found it. That's a good way to put it. Thanks.
And we had another crazy game, you know, it ended in a buzzer beater. St. John's knocking off Kansas. Kansas was mounting the comeback, and St. John's basically just said no.
Yeah, that was a very interesting game, you know, the way it started. And St. John's has been starting games just up 10 the last 5 games. So, you know, they got in that hole, Kansas did, and then they tried to, you know, mount a little comeback, which they did, tied it up with 3 seconds. But here's my thing. They had 3.9 seconds left on the clock, and they did all that fouling strategy. That's great. But at a point, if you're inbounding it on the side, I think it's a lot easier to get momentum from the bottom, because you look, Almonco Jackson, he just got subbed in for Kansas, and they took out number 7, Rosario, who stored the comeback. Like, he was the...
Correct.
When he came in, he was like, they came back like down 12 or whatever, and then tied it up. And then Almonco Jackson got subbed in, and then he gave up the game-winning layup. So he didn't do a good job of keeping Darling like outside. He kind of got him inside, and then he just took it on his offhand to the rim. So, but yeah, that was a great game. Patino, Bill Self, doesn't get much better than that.
Self looked pissed. Oh man, he
God.
looked mad. And Patino, no emotion, no smile, just Patino.
The Godfather.
Exactly. So, question for you: should the NCAA make all 11 seed games play-ins? Because you would give all the conference winners not have to play in and just say you're in no matter what, you deserved it. Like, not the 16 seeds, like Howard, UMBC, all those teams. But what do you think about all 11 seeds should be playing games to where everyone deserves a bid who won their conference?
I don't think so. I think the 16 playing games is big for the small schools, because you get an NCAA tournament win, and you're on the biggest stage. You're on the first 2 nights of the NCAA tournament. You know, if you win, you get a nice little paycheck. So I think that's big for the other schools too. And then, you know, the 11 seeds, I think, like VCU, they won their conference, and they matched up with North Carolina. I mean...
Well, they would switch that probably. VCU wouldn't be an 11. You know what I mean? Like, they won their conference, they wouldn't have put them as an 11.
True, but I don't really like I don't really like it, honestly.
I just think because then you get everyone to change. Like, everyone who won their conference is automatically in. They get a game against a big team, you know? And then the play-ins, you get more bubble teams to have an opportunity, you know? I feel like the bubble teams should be the ones playing into the tournament, not the teams that already deserved and earned their spot into the tournament.
I mean, what you're saying might be true, but, you know, as a fan of, you know, Oakland, for the small schools, they want to be in the first 4. They want to play. They want to have a chance to win in the NCAA tournament. They don't want to go match up against a 1 seed and then lose by 40. You know, only give exception to FDU, which they beat Purdue, but
what if they lose that first game? Then they don't even get the chance.
That's not what it's about. They already won their conference, and then they got to March Madness. You know, they got in the first 4, biggest stage, first game of the tournament. Everyone's watching. I think it's way bigger for them to be in that situation than put on a game against one of the 1 seeds and no one watches because it's a 40-point blowout, you know?
I don't know about that. I think they should give all these teams a chance. I'm the other way. I just think everyone should get a chance, you know, and the 11 seeds, because, like, look at Steve Pearl. They were, you know, getting all peed off about Auburn, and, you know, maybe that gives them a chance to maybe compete and give an opportunity, and maybe they earn it, you know. They win that playing game, they're in the tournament.
Well, I mean, they weren't even close. They were like the 3rd or 4th team.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, if all 11s are a playing game, that means you have multiple 11 seeds going at it. Like, you get more opportunity, more 11 seeds. They probably would have made it. You know what I'm saying?
Keep the field of 68. No expansion. Nothing.
No, I'm saying put the play-in games to all 11 seeded games. The 16s aren't play-ins anymore.
It's dumb. I think it's dumb.
We're talking about this off camera. Man. All right, but
I mean,
so far,
what's the point? Why is it better?
Because the teams that won their conference should earn a spot in without a play-in. They should.
They don't want that.
But they're not on the big floor. They're not on the big dance.
They're on the big floor.
Half the people are not watching the first 4. I tell you that right now. No one cares about
true.
Howard versus UMBC compared to St. Louis versus Georgia.
Do you think people care more about Howard versus a 40-point blowout against Michigan?
I think people would watch that because it's the actual dance. Like, they'll see it on the top of the screen if it's a decent close game like how it was. Oh, I'll go tune into this game for a little bit. Nobody cares about who's Michigan's going to play because they're likely to lose either way.
It's not about that, though. It's about the program. It's about the team. Howard would definitely want an NCAA tournament win over a 40-point blowout against Michigan.
But it's not even a tournament win. It's a play-in.
It's considered a tournament win.
That's ridiculous.
That's what it is.
I think they should, no. Every team that won their conference should get 1 game, you know?
No.
All right, whatever. But so far, it's been a great tournament. It's been a great tournament.
It has.
Like, it's been a lot of fun. Not really Cinderellas, but a couple teams that, like, you didn't expect to lose, they lost.
Yep.
Nobody expected Florida to lose to Iowa. Nobody.
Yep.
So that's all I got so far for the recap. But give us your 2 favorite games from this first weekend, Gideon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the easy one, Nebraska, Vandy. I mean, that's one of the best games of our lifetime. I was talking to one of my buddies, like, where does this even rank? And so yeah, that's number 1. And then the other one, oh man, it might be VCU, North Carolina.
Wow.
Just because of the comeback and
okay,
you know, that I think that was pretty electric. The overtime, obviously, High Point, Wisconsin was great, but I'm gonna give it to VCU.
So did you see the stuff about they're saying the balls are inflated and that's why Tyler Tanner missed the half court?
It's not true. I have sources who've played in the NCAA tournament, and it's
he's been on our show.
He's been on our show. I've had,
Mr. Golke.
Right. I've talked to people about the balls are inflated. They're not.
Yeah.
It's it's all over the internet for sure. So.
Yeah, but that's just being soft. You know, you lost.
Right.
You almost had the shot of a lifetime. It was halfway down, but you lost.
Yeah. And
win the game.
People bring that up because, like, do they inflate them to cause, longer misses so the more athletic teams get rebounds? Do they get the... You good there?
I'm pulling something on my excuse box.
Oh, okay.
Sounds
there
like
you
an
go.
excuse. Win the game.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of, just not true.
No, yeah, I agree. Nebraska-Vanderbilt definitely is one of my 2 games. Tyler Tanner gave it his all. I mean, he really did everything he could.
He had the loudest.
Points.
He had the loudest 27. Like, I thought he had like 40 because just the tough buckets he was making.
He shot a lot of shots.
Yeah, he did.
And then my second game is Kentucky-Santa Clara. The buzzer beater to go to OT and then to win it in OT. Not even to, like, go to OT and lose. They won it after that, and they saved them. And
that's a good one.
Otegawala, he had like 33 points, I think it was.
I think it was 37, I think.
Was
Up
it
to
37?
37. It was like 37, 8, and 7. I don't even know.
Okay,
It's
well,
crazy.
somewhere in the mid to high 30s. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So, all right, Sweet 16 matchups. My favorite matchup that I'm looking at for all these games is Houston versus Illinois. Both teams are destroying everybody. They're looking really good. Tell me about that game, Gideon.
It's offense. It's the best offense versus the best defense, possibly. Houston, Duke, Michigan are probably the two best defensive teams, but Houston's known for their defense, just their physicality, and will Illinois, not. How will they take it? And Illinois can put up a lot of points. And yeah, I have this game as a coin flip because both teams look really, really good. I do have Houston winning just because I think the defense, they'll get enough stops when it gets to, when you get on the edge of your seat at the under 8-minute mark, whatever. And they'll get enough stops and win the game.
Yeah, I think Houston is going to win this one. I think Illinois, I just think Houston's just a little overmatched,
Yeah, they match up well for sure. Their
Yeah.
physicality, I think, can cause problems for the Illinois bigs, which, because they like to play on the outside and they don't really go in, they go on the inside, but they don't like the inside as much as they do the perimeter shooting. So I think Houston will kind of expose that, and yeah.
Yeah, I kind of view it as like these two teams, they're always high seeds, but they always lose sometime, obviously, before the championship or like winning it all.
Right.
Which one's gonna lose right now?
Yeah.
Which one is gonna fall out? Because I don't think it's gonna be. I could see one of these teams whacking the other team.
Yeah, and this is honestly Brad Underwood's. This is one of his better teams at Illinois. So.
Oh God, yes.
I think he has one more Sweet 16 appearance than Greg Gard, and Greg Gard's had some questions about,
his job.
His job, yeah, exactly. So this is a big year for Underwood. If he gets this one, this will be really good for him.
I mean, yeah, he's got a lottery pick. He's got his veteran guard. He's got a junior guard who's now off the bench, who's been in Andrei Stojakovic. And then he's got the freshman forward, Mirkovic, who's been balling. And he's got the Ivica twins. That's stud lineup.
Yep, and he's got
Jake
some
Davis.
other wings. Yeah, Jake Davis, another transfer. And then Ben Hummerkaus, who's been he was good last year. He seems like he kind of got worse this year, but,
a little bit.
because his role's kind of shrunk. But
Well, it's
yeah,
because Wagler's just came to life, and he's a lottery pick all of a sudden.
yeah.
I think Kylan Boswell getting injured was the best thing ever for Keaton Wagler.
And maybe Illinois, because it just got him going,
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next game, I think Purdue should beat Texas, but I don't know. It's March.
You never know. Yeah.
I think Purdue should win, though. I mean, if Fletcher Lawyer can play well, I think he's the X factor. I think they can win.
So when you talk about a player that has stepped up in the last month, Oscar Clough should be like on the Mount Rushmore, top 3, whatever you want to call it. He has been as important as, like, not the stud, because they have Smith, they have TKR, but he has stepped up and he makes this team be, I'm going to say it, national champion contender. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's their solid big.
Right. They're just playing so well, and I think he's kind of the X factor because Okatitis on Texas has been playing really well.
Yep.
And, so if they can, if Clough can, kind of outpower him, it's going to be really hard to guard him.
Dude, he's like a built bowling ball.
Honestly, his shoulders are.
Is that like a good way to put it?
Yeah.
Oscar Clough, he's like a built bowling ball.
Yeah.
Who comes from like the trees because he's got that big beard.
Right.
Like a built bowling lumberjack. That's how I think of him. I'm serious.
A built bowling lumberjack.
Yep. All right. So Big Ten battle. We already talked about this. I think Iowa wins. I think they keep it rolling. Gideon said Nebraska.
One of us will be right.
Simple. Arizona, Arkansas. I think Arizona, they should handle this one all around. I simply think, kind of like Arkansas, with the defensive struggles lately, I think they're going to run out of gas. I think Arizona might be a little too much. And Arkansas only plays 6 guys. So,
yeah. They're a little banged up right now with Carter Knox banged up and Nick Pringle. But, if they get one of those guys, Nick Pringle might be back. And Carter Knox did come in, actually, when Brazil got hurt. So
yeah, Brazil if he's still hurt. I don't know.
Yeah.
He
so
came back, but
if they get both back, I don't know really the status of Nick Pringle, but I think Knox will be back. You've seen Acuff can keep them in the game, any game they play, and anywhere. So it'll be interesting, but I do like Zona. I just think, like you said, they're kind of overpowered with the numbers and
For sure.
Yep.
Give me your next game. What do you got?
I'm gonna say Iowa State, Tennessee.
Okay.
Is I think one of the interesting matchups, just because I feel like I'm kind of overrating the loss of Joshua Jefferson for Iowa State, because they've been playing unreal without him. So I might be overrating that, but Tennessee's been playing really good ball, and Jacoby Gillespie from Maryland, Nate Ament, as good as a freshman you're going to see in the country.
Yeah, he's a lottery pick.
Yeah, I think Tennessee can keep it close, but I think Iowa State will just make the Taman Lipsey plays, and I think since they have Taman Lipsey, they'll win.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. I just pulled up on my phone here. I looked at the line, the spread, and it says Iowa State is favored right now at -4.5. I think that is the perfect line.
I think that's perfect too. I was going to say
it's going to be a great
5,
close battle,
honestly.
but Iowa State pulls it out at the end.
Yep, I agree.
So, Michigan State, UConn. UConn is now favored, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
UConn is now favored -2.5.
Wow.
Michigan State was opened up as a -1.5 favorite, according to Gideon last night. I didn't look at it, but now UConn is now favored. I don't know, man. As a Spartan fan, I think UConn's going to get it done.
Yeah, it's there's questions around UConn with how they're playing, and they closed out well against Furman, but they had Terrace Reed against Furman, and Furman didn't, so that was kind of the difference in the game.
Right.
And then UCLA, they just kind of took it to them in that second half, the second half of the second half. But I think Michigan State, I think they're going to get it done. I really do. I think they're just going to tough up UConn, kind of like what St. John's has done in the past. So, no bias.
The reason I'm saying UConn right now is 2 reasons. One, I picked them in my bracket. Sorry, Sorry. Trying to win, guys. Thing number 2, I think UConn's big men in Terrace Reed and Alex Karabin, I think they're just might be a little outmatched for Carson Cooper and Jackson Kohler, and that might give them problems.
That's a good analysis.
And when they have to bring in Cam Ward, I don't see Cam Ward doing much on those guys.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But I think what makes him go, I think, is the point guard play with Silas Demery, and solo ball has been played a little bit. So, and I think that they haven't been clicking ever since the Demery injury. So
True.
that'll be interesting how that all plays out. And I think just Michigan State, their defense will kind of shape out the victory, and that will be like the key emphasis.
Yeah.
But UConn's really good, and either one.
It's gonna be a low-scoring game.
I see that too. I see
70
60s.
or lower each team.
Yeah, honestly, yep.
And then 2 matchups left. Duke St. John's. I think Duke should handle this one.
Yep.
Duke's defense is going to give St. John's offense has been bad all year, but it's going to be really bad, I think, against Duke.
Yeah. Caleb Foster might be back. John Shire said this morning. There's an outside chance. I don't know if that's might be. There's probably he could, I guess. I don't know. Whatever you want to whatever the right word is. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think the defense will just kind of outmatch. It will be interesting to see Boozer against Zuby Ejiofor because those two are
true. Yes, that'll be a good match.
Those two are men. So
yeah, Ejiofor is a friggin' monster.
Yeah, I'm literally. I texted you yesterday, Zuby. I'm scared.
Last matchup, Michigan, Alabama. Michigan's favored at 10.5.
Wow.
10.5 in a Sweet 16 game.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's kind of right, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly.
I think Michigan's going to destroy them. Bama's going to run out of gas in the offensive end. Michigan's defense is too good.
Yeah, I mean, if Bama shoots their best game of the year, I think
their life.
I think they could compete with them, because they chuck. I mean, Nate Oates, he's chucked for his whole coaching career. Big math guy. Former Michigan high school teacher. So.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Good old Romulus.
Yeah, but
there were talks about him maybe coming to Michigan State at one point when probably about 3 or 4 years ago as when Izzo's gone, who's gonna be the next guy? And it's Nate Oates.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't work at MSU with the offense and defense.
Right.
It would never be a thing.
And he's got a good thing going at Bama, but
yeah,
Michigan State is probably definitely a better job than Bama, but yeah.
Correct, but what he's doing at
offense.
Bama, he's the right place to be.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say about the game? Who you got?
I was gonna say Michigan probably covers, but if Bama shoots, I mean they can hang in there for a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
So some potential Elite Eight matchups. You got Duke versus the winner of Michigan State UConn. It's gonna be a great game no matter who they play. I have UConn to my national championship, guys. How about that?
Oof.
And then we got the battle of the Big Tenner. Could be playing another Big Ten team in Illinois. But I think Houston's kind of got this wrapped up to the Final Four, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, if Illinois shoots, the way they're capable of shooting.
I wonder I just thought of something interesting. So there's 3 teams left in this region, and I wonder what it would be like if you could bet a non-Big Ten team to win this region.
Facts.
I bet it would be an even line.
Yeah, I mean, what's the Houston, Illinois right now?
Right now we've got Houston, Illinois. Houston is laying favored 2.5. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think Houston's going to take care of that one. Potential Elite Eight here in the West. I think. I mean, Purdue, Arizona, probably the matchup. Probably.
Yep.
I would love it actually if Arkansas played against Purdue.
Oh yeah.
That would be a great game.
That'd be fun for sure.
Braden Smith versus Darius Acuff. That's
yeah.
You get no one's ever thought of that.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, and then I think
that'd actually be really. Now I want to see that.
I made you think there. think there.
That'd be crazy.
And then I think Michigan's gonna wrap it up against whoever they play.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Iowa State, if they had Joshua Jefferson, I think.
I know.
They could give Michigan a run for their money, but.
What did he get? Did he have a high ankle sprain and he's done for the year?
Yeah, I think it was.
Boot? Yeah. All right, so after seeing the first weekend, 2 games from everybody, what do you think the Final Four will end up as?
I'm gonna say Duke, just because I think, the Siena game was a wake-up call. That's what everyone's calling it, and I think that's kind of what it is. And then they played great against TCU, and then I'm gonna say Houston, just because I think they beat Illinois, and then they beat whoever wins, Nebraska, Iowa. What's that line, by the way? Nebraska, Iowa. Sorry.
You're really interested on these lines today.
I am.
But Nebraska is favored by -2.5.
Okay, so
They split in the year, and Iowa beat them one time, super low scoring, and then it was a high scoring game that went to OT.
yep.
So
Yes. So I like Houston in that region though, and then I think Arizona. I like Arizona. I think the Utah State game was really good for them because it was close, and they can have that Burries and Coapeak can.
they
have
needed
that.
a game like that, I think, to
Right.
prepare them and really experience what March is like.
Yep. And then I'm gonna say Michigan, obviously.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I know I hated on Michigan State. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be UConn. It's going to be Houston. It's going to be Arizona. And it's going to be Michigan. I really wanted to say Michigan State. I was going to say them at first, but the way UConn came to life in that second half against UCLA, it made me change my mind.
Your boy, Braylon Mullins. He's
Sniper.
trying to do something for you.
Sniper. Oh, my goodness, dude.
He's good. He's good.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Lottery pick.
Yeah, I think if he can fall to the Pistons with that Minnesota swap, him Yaxel or Thomas Houck from Florida, if he enters the draft.
Don't
those
draft Yaxel.
Dude,
I know
good,
he's
though.
so good. I know he's so good. No, I would be fine with the Axel. I don't know why I said that. My bad. I'm just a Michigan State guy. That's all it is. All right, well, that's the Sweet 16 talk, everybody. Are you feeling sweet? Because March is getting closer to the national championship. We're getting to April. It's coming up here in a week.
Hey, it sure is sweet. And shout out you for the graphic today too. It's
Oh,
pretty,
man, you didn't have to say
but
that. I made that one today. Not bad.
it's
Usually
pretty,
our guy, shout out Kyle, our guy. He usually makes them, but he's on spring break, so we're gonna let him slide this time.
facts.
Nah, but
Yeah.
Kyle's a dog. He makes some good graphics for sure. Make sure you guys check him out. Shots by Azen on Instagram.
For sure.
All right, well, are you feeling sweet? Let us know if your team's feeling sweet in the comments. That's gonna do it for this episode of the 2 Point Show.
No sponsor.
See you guys.
Is this sweet enough? Is this sweet enough?
Okay, come on, cut the cameras. We'll see you next time.